Good afternoon to everybody. Welcome back to our webinar series. This is the fourth webinar in the series we have developed on the topic of weld fumes. I'm Jim Reed, again, General Manager of RoboVent still. And I would like to thank you all again for taking time out of your busy day to join us and learn more about weld fumes. Today we'll be discussing weld fume and how to remove them from your facility at the source. So we'll start with a brief introduction, just discussing, again, recapping briefly how weld fumes are created and generated and the health and safety and also productivity implications of weld fumes in your facility. We did discuss those in much greater detail in the prior webinars, but we just recap it very briefly for those that are new on the call. And then we'll review the most common options you have for removing weld fume at the source. Touch on some additional considerations, including the importance of welder positioning and cross drafts in the area that may affect the capture and disturb your system's performance. As I mentioned before, there'll be some time at the end of the presentation to answer any questions that you submit via the box on the screen. Today, we have two guests on with us. Mike Meyer is back on. He's joined us again, bringing his 25 years of experience to the table. Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you, Jim. Hi, everybody.
And we also have Craig Woodfell. Craig is one of our senior technical directors, has almost a decade worth of experience with an intense focus on capturing weld fumes at the source. That's Craig's job. That's his passion. That's his mission. We give Craig some of our most difficult applications, such as source capturing stainless steel weld fume. And Craig is key to backing up our guarantees. Welcome, Craig.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much.
So we'll just run through these some key points here again about weld fumes. 90% of weld fume, I think it's 85 to 90%, comes from the welding wire itself. If you want to look at how you can change your welding wire, change your welding processes, limit the filler metal, how can you reduce the amount of fume that is being generated at the welding source? That's the first place to look for every one of us. How can you reduce the amount of weld fume being generated? There is low fume wires out there that typically 1 to 2% of weld fume turns into smoke. So if you have 1,000 pounds of weld wire, that's 10 to 20 pounds of fume being generated from that 1,000 pounds of weld wire. That's for typical welding fume, typically about 2%. If it's low fume wire, you get down to 1.2 thereabouts. And then if you get into flux core, heavier, you're more closer to 5%. This is real life conditions. This is real life in the industry. The reason I say that is because you might read on the information sheet about the weld wire that it says it's a low fume wire that can do 0.8% or less. That's lab conditions. That's factual, but it's lab conditions. We get into the real world, we find those numbers end up around between 1 and 1.5%, so a little more than what's expected.